You want to know why you're not getting blowjobs or not getting sex? This is some tough love coming up, but I'm here to help you. Hey guys, I'm Stephanie Ganowski, sexologist and sex coach for men. If you're new to my channel, welcome. And if you've been subscribed, welcome back. You guys are awesome. So I know there are a lot of you frustrated with your sex life and you're not sure what to do. And some of you have given up. But that's not necessary. Let's try to figure it out. So what do I think you're probably doing wrong that's working against you, leading to less sex and less BJs or none at all? I'm gonna share a list with you. This is all to help you. Please keep that in mind and please keep an open mind. The first reason why you're probably not getting sex or blowjobs, she's not enjoying the sex you're having together. I know that's a hard one to let sink in, but if sex is not enjoyable for her, why would she crave it? Why would she want it? There is unfortunately a huge orgasm gap, which means there are a lot more men having orgasms than women having orgasms. And this leads to more women not wanting sex with their men, especially when there's no conversation about this gap. If you haven't had a direct conversation with her about what feels really good and even asking her, like, do you orgasm? And chances are she could be faking it, or even the sex you're having that could lead her to a real orgasm is still not pleasurable sex. You can have an orgasm without enjoying the sex. So even when she has an orgasm, that doesn't mean like, oh, she's having an orgasm, therefore she loves the sex. You have to talk about this. You have to always talk to your partner about your sex life. Make sure she's having orgasms and she's enjoying the sex all the way through. Just as you should enjoy the sex all the way through and also have your orgasms when you prefer to have them. So now ask yourself, have I ever asked her if she really enjoys our sex life? Have I ever asked her if there was anything she wanted us to do differently or change up to make it more enjoyable? Have I ever asked her if she is having orgasms and if she enjoys the orgasm she's having? If you haven't asked these questions and had this discussion with your partner, that's a huge step that you can take. And hopefully you get some answers as to what really does make her feel pleasure and makes her want sex more. And the point of connection brings us to number 2. You have to be connected on an emotional level. Get rid of the word emotional for now. Let's just switch it to personal. If you're not holding a personal relationship with each other, and even your relationship dynamic and the conversation has become robotic, you're not really talking about anything new, you're not showing each other how you're special to one another, you're not being curious about one another and learning about each other and doing things together to have new experiences. And you're in that robot phase of just doing life the same over and over. And when you do the same thing over and over, you get the same results. So if the way your relationship is in terms of a connection right now is leading to no sex, think about, okay, what do I need to do to increase connection with my partner? And ask yourself, when do I feel most connected to her? Sex could be one, but come up with at least 2 other things that make you feel connected to her. Share these things with her and ask her, what are 2 things that make you feel connected to me? This is a really great question because it makes you have a clear understanding of what maybe she's wanting to feel connected that maybe you guys aren't even doing or haven't done for a very long time. And when you get this feedback from her, it's great because it's like, oh wow, now I have the missing puzzle piece. Now I have an answer that's very specific and I can now work with that. Instead of assuming that, oh, well, I know that she feels connected like this. No, don't assume. Ask her so you guys can both take action on that type of connection. Number 3, you're only touching her when you want to have sex. Maybe you're even initiating sex in a immature way where maybe you're grabbing her boobs and just randomly squeezing them. A lot of women feel sexually used when the only time you touch their body is when you want to get off. That's not a great feeling. You want to be hugging her in between. You want to be like raising her back when you walk by. Get in the habit and tell her too if you're looking for this and say, babe, I love when you randomly, come grab my arms, rub my shoulders, or give me a neck massage. When I sit on the couch. It makes me feel so good. Sharing things that maybe she does now that you really appreciate when it comes to touch, and for you to be mindful of how can you touch her on a daily basis, not in a way that leads to sex or that you even want to lead to sex, but just to get in a habit of touching each other. Because getting in a habit of touching, either in a platonic way or a romantic or flirty way, without any hints of like, hey, we're gonna have sex, that's a very powerful way to connect physically. Number 4, you're giving just to get. When you're giving her things or doing things for her just to receive sex, then you're not really giving. It's a trade-off. You don't want to think of sex as a trade-off. Like, oh, well, I did this, you should give me a blowjob. Or I did the yard work, you should have sex with me. That's not how it goes with sex. For me personally, what makes me want to give to my boyfriend is when he does things like, say he'll cook and do all the dishes one night. Usually we split, one of us does the other. But if he sees I'm wrapped up in work and I'm really stressed and I'm trying to get something done and it's already really late, he'll do both and he won't say anything. Like, he won't make any comments about it. He'll just do it. And then I'll say, anything I could help you with to get done around the house so you could just do this and go to bed. Like, that type of paying attention to me and caring about me and making me feel like special in that way is something that makes me want to give him something. But he's not looking for something. It's just, and that's what makes it so attractive. That's what makes me want to give, is like, wow, he's just doing this because he cares about me. That's the only reason why he's doing it. And I really feel that. And because I feel that's his pure intention, it makes me want to give to him and do something really nice for him. I want you to think about, when you do expect sex, why is it that you expect it at that time or you think you deserve it? Is it because you did something in that moment where it's like, okay, I should get sex now? Number 5, you stop dating each other. If you stop treating her like your romantic partner and you stop leaving love notes and you stop pursuing her and there's no more of that wanting to get to know her better. Think about it, that's when sex was happening most, right? And it kind of makes sense because when you're in that place of communicating very romantically, sex is very natural. When you lose all the romance and you still expect the physical act of sex, it doesn't really match up with the behavior within the relationship. So try to ask yourself, is there romance within our relationship? And how was it when we were having the most sex? How did we behave differently? How did we interact differently? What did we talk about? What did we do? Where did we go? If you're like, Steph, well, I still do those things and it doesn't work like it used to, then you want to talk to her and you want to say, hey, hun, I know that we used to do A, B, and C, and that's how we dated each other, and we seemed to be really like intimate and close at that time. And I feel like we still do that, but we were not that close. You know, we don't have a lot of sex. Did things change? Like, what can we do to date each other now? How does our dating life have to look like now? I think it could look like this. What do you think? This is an example of creating a constructive conversation to bring this up and be like, hey, we used to do this, and we also had a lot of sex at this time, and we felt really good. Now I feel like we're still doing this, but we're not having sex, and I'm wondering if, you know, maybe we should change things up. What do you think? You're bringing her into the conversation, you're brainstorming together, and once again, this way you get actual answers instead of assuming, oh, well, this worked in the past, it should work now, and it's not, and this is frustrating and horrible. You want to be curious with your partner still, always, so that you can constantly be brainstorming together and find ways to work through your relationship at this point in time. And number 6, she feels like she needs help, she's overwhelmed, needs help with the family stuff, and might not feel supported by you. This is up to both of you to talk together about. And if she's not coming to you, you should ask her, hey love, you seem really overwhelmed lately with stuff. Is that true? Is there anything I could do to take something off your plate? And this shows you care. So look, if you've got to this point of this video and you're like, yeah, Steph, I did all that stuff. It's useless. It's never gonna work. Don't ever get married. First of all, just stop saying this stuff because it doesn't help you. And I'm never gonna be the person that's like, oh, I feel so bad. That sucks. It does. Man, your life is gonna suck forever, because I don't want that for you. I don't want you to believe your life is gonna suck forever, and I don't believe that either. I believe it's all about the actions you take and the choices you make from here on moving forward, how your future is gonna look. That can mean staying with the same partner, that can mean not staying with the same partner, or something else. But you really should stop allowing yourself to blame or to make excuses for why you're stuck in the situation you're in. There's always a choice you can make. There's always something you can do. And if you feel like, oh yeah, well, she doesn't listen, I bring it up and then she changes the topic, then you bring it back. Like, you'd say, hey, babe, you can't keep changing the topic when I bring this up. When can we talk about our sex life? Because this is really important. We're married. we have to make changes here. I care about you. I want this to work, but we have to talk and we have to figure out an action plan if we're gonna make it work. But when can we talk about it? That's an assertive, loving way of calling her out and not letting her change the topic. You have to set boundaries for yourself. Make it clear, hey, this is important. You can't keep doing this. Let's bring it back. When is the best time for us to talk about this? I love you. I care about you. I care about this relationship. Is there anything you would like to change within our relationship dynamic to help you want more sex? You have to ask these questions. Otherwise, you'll never get the answers you need to move forward. So be assertive, be loving, and review this video if you have to ask yourself, am I doing these things? Can I take these steps? And even if I take one of these steps, do I think I might be able to find a positive shift in my relationship within the next week or so? Chances are high that, yeah, you will see a little progress. So give one of these steps a try. This is a tough love video because I know there's a lot of you guys out there and I don't want you to lose hope. I want you to be assertive and loving in your communication and get the answers you need so that you could be happy and satisfied in your relationship and sex life. So that's it, guys. I'll talk to you soon in the next video.